Here's something to ponder. Why are so many members of Congress so wealthy or have such high net worths when it seems that regular Americans like you and me and our parents do not? Recently, I was looking at an article published in the Wall Street Journal last week. It was talking about Eric Cantor and other House leadership members. I have it up right here. And it talked about how, because members submit financial disclosure forms every year. It doesn't say their exact net worth, but they have to list their assets in different classes. So you can see the range that they're probably worth. And if you go to opensecrets.org, you can look up financial disclosure forms from every member of Congress. But in the Wall Street Journal, it was talking about Eric Cantor. It said 6 years ago, Eric Cantor's net worth was about half of what it is today. His disclosures from 2008 show then he was worth between 2.4 million and 7 million. But today his net worth is at the least 5.7 million and at the most 19 million. So it has doubled in the 6 years. But don't forget, he's been on a public salary since 2009. Congressional salaries were $174,000 a year. Before 2009, they were lower. Congress has actually declined pay raises since 2009, although technically under law they're entitled to cost of living adjustments and pay raises every single year. But in 2009 was the last time it went up. And then it talks about Nancy Pelosi, and I wrote it down in this sheet of paper from opensecrets.org. In 2004, 10 years ago, Nancy Pelosi's net worth was anywhere from negative $5 million, so she had $5 million in liabilities, to $87 million. That was her net worth. 10 years later, it's anywhere from $1 million to $175 million. And it says she has assets up to about $183 million in assets, her and her husband. Also, on Open Secrets, it says about Eric Cantor. In 2004, his net worth was 1 to 5 million. 2012, 4 to 14 million. That's a big jump in 10 years. I know my parents' net worth hasn't gone up that much of a percentage in 10 years, and I doubt that your parents' net worth, unless your father's a CEO of a major company for the last couple of years, I doubt that it's gone up that much. So I want to talk about why members of Congress are wealthy. Yes, a lot of them are trust fund babies, and they have daddy's money, and that's why they're wealthy. You look at Jay Rockefeller in the Senate, member of the Rockefeller family. Ted Kennedy, member of the Kennedy family. Teresa Heinz, John Kerry's wife, heir to the Heinz tomato ketchup fortune. Although, to be fair, there are less and less millionaires in Congress than there used to be. There are less and less trust fund babies. There are very much people who have built their companies from the ground up. You look at the wealthiest members of Congress: Darrell Issa, Mark Warner, Jared Polis, John Delaney, Nancy Pelosi even. They're some of the wealthiest members of Congress, all self-made. I'm not saying they came from families that were dirt poor, but they didn't inherit tens of millions of dollars from daddy. They are not trust fund babies. They did work hard, they built companies, they invested, and they made their living themselves. And that brings me to why members of Congress are wealthy. What I'm arguing today is I think the members of Congress are wealthy from correlation, not causation. I don't think that you become a member of Congress and causation, because you're a member of Congress, now you become wealthy. Now your net worth goes up. I think it's correlation, because I think that the skills it takes to put a campaign together, do financial disclosures, follow campaign finance rules, to raise money, to connect yourself with the people who are tops in their fields, to meet donors, to connect with other donors, to build social capital, to get support in your district, to get support from the party, to get the endorsement on the state and national level, to run for office, the drive to be successful, to obtain a seat in Congress. Think about how many hands you have to shake, how many town halls you have to go to. Members of Congress are raising money and away from their homes and their states and their districts basically every night and every weekend that they're in Congress or running for Congress. And so all the energy, skill, drive, connections, intelligence that it takes to do all of that is the same skill, drive, intelligence, and social capital that it takes to grow your net worth and to be successful. And so I think that it's correlation, not causation. And that is why members of Congress are so wealthy. There is something to ponder.